Welcome back. Hey, Swim Stories Unplugged family. Welcome back to another unscripted dip into the lanes of life. I'm your host, Hetal Sampat, and this is episode 4 of Swim Stories Unplugged. Ah, no, no, no. Hey, Swim Stories family. Welcome back to another unscripted dip into the lanes of life. I'm your host, Hetal Sampat, and this is episode 4 of Swim Stories Unplugged. Today, we are joined by Darren Klien, a swimmer whose journey speaks to persistence, healing, and rediscovery. In this episode, Darren opens about a serious back injury he faced as a young adult and a turning point that could have pulled him away from the water forever. But instead of stepping back, Darren chose to lean in with patience, grit, and a powerful sense of purpose. You'll hear what the water has come to mean to him, not just as a place for training or competition, but as a sanctuary, a space for reflection, resilience, and quiet confidence. Darren also shares how he stepped into the world of adult swim competitions in the Masters Club, what it was like to race again after years away, and how the structure and rhythm of swim life helped him recover both physically and mentally. Whether you're chasing your own comeback or just need a reminder that it's never too late to dive in, Darren's story will move you. So adjust your goggles, settle into your streamline, and let's dive in. Hi, Darren. Welcome to Swim Stories Unplugged.
Hi,
Thank,
Atal. So nice to see you. Thank you for having me on.
thank you for being here. So we're gonna go right into it. I'm gonna ask you what your very first memory of swimming was.
Okay, well, I'm going to answer that question, and I hope it's okay if I ask you that question too, because I'd love to hear your first memory.
Yes.
Um, but I would say that the first thing I really remembered about swimming was when I was about 10 years old, and there was a swim night on a Friday night at our local high school. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
in high school yet, I was still in elementary school. And I remember it must have been 7 or 8 p.m. And I swam and I enjoyed it. And I remember when I got out of the pool, I felt so wired and energetic in a way I had never felt before. And I ended up not sticking with swimming. It wasn't a sport that I did growing up
Okay.
until kind of during college, not competitively at all. But I wish I had kind of remembered that all through my teen years of how electrifying swimming makes me feel. So that was my first memory. And what about yours?
So my first memory was I was actually talking to my dad just in the last few days that I've been trying to get this together. So I remember when I was little, I remember going on a vacation one with my family, and that's when I was in the pool, and I realized that I had a picture of me when I was 2 years old, and I was with my dad, and that's when he got me into the pool with the pool arms and the
Oh, the
floaty
swimmies.
and the
Right,
swimmies, yeah,
right.
floaties
Okay.
and the pool and everything. So yeah.
Oh, so you were so young.
I was very young too. I was 2 years old and it was with my dad. I remember that. Yeah.
That's so special. And do you remember liking it or just doing it?
So when I was two, I don't remember much, of course, but I remember when we went on a vacation and I have that picture and I've seen a picture of that picture of me a very long time. And I just found in my picture gallery, I had
Oh,
scanned pictures of me. So,
that's
but
so special.
yeah,
Mm.
that's that's going to be the last I want to focus more on here you, and I will do more about me later, if that's okay.
Sure. Of course. Of course. I'm just happy to hear your memory and how cool that you have a photo of that. That's so awesome.
Yes, yes, and I will be posting that on social as well soon.
So cool. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So when you were little, I wanted to ask you, did you have a coach or a teammate or a family member that, encouraged you to go into the pool, or was that just back of just something that happened organically?
No, and I think I had mostly scary memories of swimming. One of
Oh, okay.
I grew up on Long Island,
Uh-huh.
so very close to beaches and not a ton of pools that I remember being available. And I was afraid of the ocean, and I still kind of am. I'm afraid of
Hmm.
the
Oh,
low visibility of the
yeah.
Northeast Ocean. And
Yes.
so the ocean scared me. And then I was also another scary memory was I was in Boy Scouts, and each summer we would go to Boy Scout sleepaway camp for a week or two. And
Hmm.
one of the skills you had to learn was a merit badge for swimming. So they would have us get into the coldest lake I have ever experienced in at 7 a.m. in the summer and just jump in and try to learn to swim. So that
Right.
was I feel like more traumatized by my early swim memories
Hmm.
than enjoying it. But what got me into swimming though, what really
Hmm.
got me into it was I was a rower in college for a year
Okay.
and I liked it, but I hurt my back in the
Hmm.
middle of my first year. So
Sorry to hear that.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I had a herniated disc, which for a for an 18-year-old is a young time to get
Y-
that kind of injury. And
Yeah.
I just remember at physical therapy during that summer of my freshman year of college, of the physical therapist saying again and again to me, "You got to do swimming. It has the buoyancy." And I was having a lot of pain, so I really just jumped into the local Y pool on Long
Hmm.
Island and kind of self-taught myself to swim. And
What? You
and
self-taught? That's
yes, and
really
the
amazing.
yeah, and the back pain really went away from that. And I actually joined a master's swim club when I was 19 back at college. I didn't really stick with it, the swim club, but I've always stuck with swimming and running. So those have kind of been my things, but I have never seriously done swimming until 2023 when I found the Masters Club from actually one of our teammates, Tom, his wife Kathleen told me about the club, and that's how I found the Rutherford Masters Club, and I am just so happy I found this amazing team.
Oh, that is so exciting. I'm so happy to hear your journey about how you how you first started and how you are into the masters team right now, which is pretty cool to hear.
Yeah.
So, did swimming was there any moment that swimming got you through any difficult times? I know you mentioned you had the herniated disc and injury, but other than that, was there any other challenges that you faced or any of those kind of things? And how did you push through to get to the other side?
I just know that, so I do have a bad back
Hmm.
still. I had to
Right.
get a back surgery in 2012. And
Oh,
every time I strain my back or pull my back out, it usually takes me anywhere from 1 week to a month to get back on track. And
okay.
swimming accelerates that. So swimming when I jump in the pool, I feel like I'm flying and floating and I can strengthen my core. My back doesn't hurt at all. So it actually has gotten me through a number of like times where my back has been in spasm. So anytime I'm like that physical therapist now, anytime someone says, "Oh, my back hurts," I say, "Jump in the pool, just go in the pool." And a number of people like do it, but
Right.
Mm. I think it's just really, I don't think there's a better exercise. So I've been really fortunate to have found swimming. And that's why I'm like proselytizing swimming all the time for anyone with a back injury. So I think that's kind of the thing that it got me through.
That's interesting to hear. So, when, through the years, has swimming I know you mentioned swimming is something that you keep coming back, but has there any, at a point of time, have you ever felt that, no, I don't want to do it anymore? Or are not because of your back injury, but mostly because of any personal reasons or any of those things? Or you have always wanted to just come back to swimming?
Believe it or not, and when we were talking about doing this podcast, I
Mm-hmm.
am 1,000% all in. And the reason is because swimming has changed my life. And it is incredible. I owe I have such a gratitude, not even owe, I have such gratitude to our coaches, Mike, Eddie, Athena, to my teammates,
Yeah.
yourself, Anne,
Thank you.
Arlene, Emily, Javier, Kyle, so many people I know I'm forgetting people, but you guys have helped me change my life. And I feel almost so good leaving that gym,
Mm-hmm.
even though even though getting up at 5 in the morning
Hmm.
still, and
Yeah.
I'm always the last one in the pool in the morning.
And that's okay.
Even though
But
that's
you're
so
there.
hard,
Yeah.
the feeling I have when I'm done with that swim
Mm-hmm.
is is just incredible. I feel so healthy and
Yeah.
alive, and there's nothing in my life I can compare it to. I do like to run, to
Mm-hmm.
jog,
Mm-hmm.
but now that I'm getting older, it really hurts my knees, and it's just not a good exercise you can do forever. Whereas swimming, it's just generally speaking, unless I really overdo it, and I overdid it recently with the butterfly
Oh,
trying.
okay.
I was so excited, but
Right.
then I strained my biceps tendon, so I need to just do take it easy,
Take it
sort of
easy.
slow and steady wins the race is
Uh,
a great attitude. And
Yeah, I love that attitude.
I just feel so alive, unlike anything I've ever done. There's never been a time where I like, and actually, I you can name almost anything else in my life. Like I take
Yeah.
guitar lessons too, and I take Spanish lessons, and I volunteer. All of those things I've kind of paused here and there because I'm like, I'm so tired, I'm so stressed out.
Hmm.
I don't want to do that. But this is something that it feels so calming and peaceful and invigorating whenever I jump in the pool. So I'm all in.
That I'm so amazed to hear that. And and I was wondering also, when we did our birthday swim, you were like not sure. I was like, I do want to be able to do the birthday swim, but how do I t ask him, or how do I tell him? So I'm like, okay, let me just ask you, you're gonna come in and and it was just very special. I know I started like a couple of minutes early because I had to get to work that day, but it was like really amazing to see you excited about the birthday swim ritual that we do. And for our listeners, I'm just going to say that for everybody's birthday, we take their age and we swim that many number of swims or sets or 50s, 75s, depending on the day and the coach. They have something special for the birthday swim, which is a tradition that we have at our Masters Club. So that's pretty exciting to share.
Yeah, I love it. I think my only hesitation about the birthday swim
Hmm.
is because I'm so old. Everyone
You're
has to
not
swim a lot
old,
of
you're
laps.
young. Yeah, and that's okay. And listen, everybody's about that age. I don't know anybody who's about 60. And we are all below 60, right? At RMT. I
I
didn't.
think so, yes. But
Yeah,
when
so I
you
think.
but when people like Eddie's birthday comes along, it's only 27 sets. It's kind of easy.
Yeah, but then and there's always the time when they just make it more like 2700s.
Right, right.
Because that's going to be 2700 is the about the 75 is 100 depending
That's
on the
true.
time they do. I'm sure there will be times when they will do that. And that's okay. It's everybody is it's about celebrating uh you at the birthday and honoring that person regardless of their age. And I feel like if different swimmers at different ages, we can always change things around. And that's always the best thing I like about being in the masters team is there are so many things that are always gonna be some of things are gonna be the same and some things are gonna be different. So
Right. Yeah, it is. It is. That is a really great point because I know a lot of people who swim for recreation, but they'll just swim for an hour straight. And
Yeah,
that's a great workout, but I love the variety and also the coaches and teammates, everyone's so encouraging about, do what you can. Like
yeah,
if you can't do the IM, just do a couple of the strokes, do just backstroke and breaststroke. You don't have to do everything. And
yeah,
that just keeps it fun. So
yeah.
it's, I also notice this. I don't know if you feel like this, but when I jump into the pool and then when I get out, it feels
Mm-hmm.
like that. It
Yeah,
feels like it was 1 minute. And then I look at my
yes,
watch and I say, oh my God, I just swam 2,500 meters.
yeah,
It's like just so, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's hard. As long as you don't take a lot of breaks,
yeah.
then you're just like so busy. You don't even have time to look at your
Ta-
watch.
Yeah,
So the variety helps the workout go fast too.
go fast. Yeah, and consistency, with everything, all our coaches, they have Athena, Eddie, and Coach Mike, all of they have their different styles of workouts that they have, and they also have variety in them as well. So I feel like when we swimming like this morning also, when we were swimming, it was like, oh, that's over. Do I have time to finish that set? And Athena is like, yeah, sure. And if you have time, you will even have time for a little bit more, so you can do the optional as well. So it's like the feeling and the being in the water is just amazing. I do want to touch base on the recently you've been competing as well, and how has that affected your outlook on how you swim?
I I kind of I like going to the competitions
Mm-hmm.
mostly for the camaraderie. It's just mostly to see everyone else swim and kind of have fun at swim events because it is such a big part of what everyone else is doing like
Mm-hmm.
outside our pool.
Yeah.
So I like Oh, that's the other thing too is I can't dive. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning to dive.
Right.
So I don't really gravitate towards going to a meet where I have to get on the block because I'm just doing a belly flop into the
And
pool.
right,
So
right, yeah.
it's usually kind of painful.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really I like going to, what I really like doing is the 100 by 100s or the 150s
Yeah.
that we do. I forget the name of the town where we go to, but it's around New Year's or Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's really fun. But I I think it's just fun to hear like club records falling and people
Mm-hmm.
set personal records. And I know you have done those recently, which is awesome. And
Thank you.
I'm always so excited to see what Eddie is doing because he works so hard, and it's great to see when he or another teammate sets a record. So I think it's just like really about the camaraderie. And another thing too is I don't really like doing the open swims because I'm a little afraid
Mhm.
of the lake
Yeah, sure.
environment. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wondering, right? When I even open waters here do worry me as well. But if at all, you get an opportunity to swim as the background that you have there in an open water, but with where you can see below you, you can see where you're going. Would that be something you'd be open to swimming?
Oh,
If you,
absolutely.
okay, you would be
Absolutely.
okay.
Oh yeah, I'm totally wait, where was I? Yeah, we went down to Curacao over the holidays and
Mm-hmm.
uh and the water's very clear, so I don't mind swimming and I just like to be able to see what's below me. Um
Yeah.
I'm also into scuba diving too. I just got certified a couple of years ago
Oh,
and
really? Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, it's awesome. And by the way, I also credit Rutherford Masters team with making me such a strong scuba diver. Like, it's you have to take it slow and very carefully, but I feel like a really strong swimmer with good lung capacity. So that's really good. But what I was going to say is the scuba diving that I did half my training in Galapagos and half
Mm-hmm.
in New Jersey. And
Oh, okay.
New Jersey part in a quarry. Oh, sorry, it was in Pennsylvania. It was in a quarry, an
Uh-huh.
old rock quarry, and it was so terrifying that I was really panicking doing the training because you really couldn't see 1 inch in front of you.
Mm.
So to me, the scuba and the swimming in clear water is amazing.
It's amazing. I think
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to you because I'm definitely one of those swimmers as well. I tried open water last year when I went, was not my very best, but I feel like, we I can definitely relate to you in um seeing that open water scares you and I can feel it. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're in good company.
Plus, there's no walls in open water, so you don't get
Yeah.
the benefit of pushing off.
Yeah, no flip turns, that's for
No
sure.
flip throughs. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, you've traveled to Galapagos. Where else have you gone for swimming as a family, and what has that experience brought to you as a family? What is that experience? Has it been fun? Has it been challenging? This, swimming as a family or going on vacations to places which have water? So many questions, but go for
Oh
it.
yeah. Well, as I was mentioning, I got scuba certified, so
Hmm.
every vacation now I'm kind of trying to do a little scuba or snorkeling. And we had a good time in Curacao with some really great visibility and some snorkeling. Another trip that I loved was Iceland, um, because they are a pool culture there. They have
Okay.
pools in every town, and most of them apparently are geothermal pools. So they are naturally heated from the volcanic uh, heat from underground.
Oh,
So
really? I did
the
not know that.
swimming, the swimming that's done is often in the dead of winter in these really wonderfully heated pools. So in addition to swimming in every town, there's a place called the Blue Lagoon,
Hmm.
which is fantastic, and that's like 95 degrees plus, and it's acres of water, so it's really spectacular to swim in.
Oh, that's great to hear. So, like, have you been to Jamaica or anywhere in the Caribbean?
Just let's see. So Curacao and Antigua are
Uh-huh.
the places that we've been in the Caribbean, and
Okay.
yeah, they're both great. I wouldn't say I'm doing a ton of swimming there versus more scuba and snorkeling,
Okay.
but they're wonderful, like in terms of the visibility.
Oh, yes. I remember even in Jamaica when we went, I tried going scuba diving because that was my goal to, it was one of my bucket list for a very long time. And when
Oh,
I hit
okay.
a milestone birthday, that was one of the things that I really wanted to do. I was bummed that I wasn't able to do because I couldn't get the breathing.
Yeah.
I feel like hopefully now I can, when I went snorkeling last year after joining the master's team, I was able to do snorkeling, which was amazing. And I was really happy about that. But I'm looking forward to going to another vacation where I can actually do the scuba diving and be underwater and have those controlled breaths. Although I'm not very good at it yet, but I hope once I'm training more in the pool, I'll be able to do that more when I'm in open waters and those clear waters. I
Yeah.
was pretty excited to hear about your scuba diving certification. That's something I do want to do. So I'm gonna pick your brain on that, on how to go about that
Absolutely.
for
And
sure.
I think because we are generally stronger swimmers now,
Mm-hmm.
it takes away one of the like parts of scuba that's hard. So
Right.
I think there's a number of things when you're diving that you have to remember to do, whether it's various techniques or the hand signals that are important, and just all the safety
Safety.
techniques. And
Yeah.
being a strong swimmer just lets us not need to think about that part, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can focus on the other things like equalizing and making sure that your you're not your inner ear isn't hurting too much, and we can even practice that in the deep end of our pool. So
Okay.
we
Yeah.
can I look forward to showing you how to equalize if you don't if you haven't done that yet in our
No,
pool.
I'd heard of those terms, but I like, because I this was before I was even diagnosed. So like, I that time I was a leisure swimmer. So I'm looking forward to understanding how to
Oh
do
yeah.
that. So when I actually go into the water for a vacation for scuba diving, I mean, I can actually do that. Oh, I'm now
Oh
so
yeah.
pumped.
Oh, you're gonna love it. Yes.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Yes.
yes, of course. Do you have like a ritual that you do before you swim or after you swim, or something that you feel like that is something you need to do after or before a swim?
Um, I just like to stretch just a
Okay.
little bit just because I feel like sometimes I go a little too hard in the
Mm-hmm.
pool because if I'm swimming next to people, I tend to try to race them. And
Okay.
if I swimming next to Eddie, I try to keep up with him. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't want to strain my back or neck. So I say do some stretches before swimming because this way you'll be like healthy. And I mean, I know you that for you, you're in the pool every day pretty much. I also need to take a break. I
Yeah.
think I think for me at least, it's good to just take a day off between swims and maybe I could come every day and just be really like take it really easy. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of my challenges. Whenever I jump in the pool, I want to sprint. I want to swim so fast.
You want
So
to swim fast? Yeah.
yeah, because I I'm like racing the clock. I'm racing the people. I'm also listening to music. I've got my
Yeah.
my bone conduction headphones, so
Right.
I'm listening to music. So I'm always like trying to go all out and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, the stretching, and then just after swimming, it's not really a ritual, but I'm just like so happy.
Happy.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, wow, like I can take a nice deep breath, take in the air, whether it's freezing or 100 degrees, it just feels so wonderful to be in the air. And then I just go on and have a great day after that.
And that's great to hear. I'm happy to hear that. So, like, is there anything have um anything that inspires you to keep coming back to the water? Is it just the feeling of water, or is there anything else that you feel like how like why you want to just keep going back to swimming?
Yeah, I think it's that. I mean, there's a number of factors. It's the team, it's the coaches,
Mm-hmm.
it's a group of people that I'm so admiring of because
Uh-huh.
everyone's getting up so early in the morning. I think when I bumped into you the other day, was it 6 in the morning? And you said, "Oh, I just did my legs workout before this." And I'm thinking like, what time did you wake up? To
Yeah, of course.
what time did you wake up?
For
What time do you go to sleep?
8:39 at the
Oh my
most.
God, so impressive.
Yeah.
So I I get to the pool and I think I am
Right.
with this incredible group of go-getters
Yeah.
that are all like waking up at the crack of dawn to get to this workout.
Yeah.
And you know, as I was saying earlier, I just feel so good doing the workout. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it's like the team and the coaches, and it's just that just keeps me really excited to get into the pool all the time.
That's great to hear. So if there's anything you'd say to the listeners who are listening and who are probably just starting out their swim, or somebody who needs an inspiration to keep going, what would you tell them?
I think, well, first of all, anytime I see someone in the pool who doesn't have goggles, I say, put goggles on. It is like such a difference in
Mm-hmm.
terms of how you experience the pool because once you have goggles on, it becomes peaceful and you're not trying to keep the water out of your eyes, so you can just enjoy that experience. Um, and then I would just say like just stick with it because I mean, I really never liked swimming because of those tougher memories, except when I was a little kid just splashing around in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
But most of my memories like weren't so easy around swimming, and so I could absolutely understand someone saying, "I just don't like the pool. It's, you know, it's hard to swim." And yes, it is, but I just I did it out of necessity that time to
Mm-hmm.
get my back healed.
Right.
But once I sort of did that, I felt like I had a knack for it and I really enjoyed the freestyle. And then the other strokes I think are I don't really need them. I know that we do them at our club for
Yeah.
breaststroke and butterfly, but to me, the crawl, the freestyle is like all you need to do. And you just take it slow. And if you can find a great pool, that's amazing. Like our pool, Rutherford, is awesome. They did the guys who run it, Mike and Chris, are they saved that pool and they
Yeah.
invested in it and it's great. So if you can find a pool near you that you love, like join it, go to it, and just get yourself a good pair of goggles, get yourself the AfterShokz bone conducting headphones, and it's a wonderful experience.
Thank you, Darren. And if there is, what do you hope? Like, I know this is something for the listeners too. What do you hope that your swim story, that our conversation right now is what do you think in this conversation is going to inspire the listeners to go for swimming? Because that's that why I started Swim Stories Unplugged, is like, to having and making sure, like, the story is inspiring them. So from your thoughts, what do you think that is something you'll say?
Yeah, I know it's the cliche I mentioned before, but it really has changed my life. It really is something that I am so happy that I discovered even kind of later in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to encourage my kids to swim. I haven't really quite convinced them yet to do things like lap swimming, but it to
Right.
me it's just changed my life, and I think it can change others' lives too. It's just a great exercise, and not only that, but it's something you can do for life. So
Yeah.
almost anything, you might hurt yourself at pickleball or jogging or bicycling, but swimming is
Yeah.
it's I see people of all ages do it.
Right. Can I, like, I'm gonna ask you this, right? Like, you said your kids know swimming. So is that like swimming as a life skill? So that like, or is that swimming laps?
Well, they know how to swim, so they went
Mm-hmm.
to summer camp and had to do a swim test to be able to swim in the pool. That's how they
Right.
would teach you to swim
Right.
at
Right.
camps. But I just think that um, for like the health that I feel, like the good feeling,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to, persuade them, convince them
Mm-hmm.
um, that you're going to feel so great if you do this exercise, and it's something you don't it's not I mean it's actually not easy to find a pool. We all know that, especially here in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my daughter would absolutely love it. I think it's great for muscle tone
Mm-hmm.
and it's great for like your mental health. So I think she would love it, but I haven't successfully convinced her or my son to do that yet. I'm
Oh,
trying.
okay.
Yeah.
That, hopefully this podcast will inspire them when they listen to it. So
Right,
you
right.
were mentioning about like so for mental
Yes.
health, like, do you think it has affected your mental health in any way?
Oh my God, in every way.
In every way.
It's
Can you give
I
us a couple of examples?
and I know maybe I'm coming across too like excited about swimming, but I just feel like when I don't swim, I just don't feel as good about my day. And
Hmm.
I love running,
Yeah.
but because it's hard on my knees, when I do it, it hurts. So it literally taking usually when people or usually in the beginning of a workout for running, a lot of people feel a little bit of discomfort or pain like in their knees or their ankles, and it kind of subsides over time. But like that's not fun. So whenever I start running, the first few minutes, oh, my knees really hurt. But swimming isn't like that. So I don't have to endure that pain to get the good feeling. It's just like all the dessert and no vegetables sort of
Oh,
analogy
uh,
that running is like a lot of vegetables of like, okay, this is gonna hurt. I have to really stretch. to be really careful. I have to have the right shoes. And swimming to me is like it just feels good. So yeah, so mentally I feel like I also love getting to the office early on those swim mornings.
Hmm.
So waking up like at 5 a.m. and then sitting in my office at 8:30 in the city just feels great. I just feel like I have the whole day ahead. I can attack it and I can really enjoy it and do great work. So absolutely mentally it has a lot of benefits for me too.
I'm glad to hear that. So happy to hear that, Darren. And it has been amazing to have you on this podcast for
Thank you.
for me recording. And do you think you have any swim goals in the future? What is it? What is it next for you in and out of the water, if I can ask that?
I think my main swim goal is to beat Eddie in a race.
Okay.
If I can do that, I think I will feel like I've accomplished something. So
Oh, that's a big goal.
I usually give
Which time or any particular race that you have in mind?
probably the 50 from a wall start, a 50-meter from a wall start, because
Okay.
I think I can sprint all out for that distance. Anything else, he'd probably like after the first two laps, he'd probably crush me. But I think I can do a 50 with pretty much not taking a breath. And I often do challenge Eddie to races, but I usually give him like I give myself a head start, or I say, okay, you can't wear your goggles, or oh, you can't use your left hand, or something. Some ridiculous things that
Yeah,
that don't make it fair.
right.
So if I can beat him in a race, I think that would be my that would be my goal. And then just being serious or seriously, I don't really feel like I have a milestone I want to get to. I just enjoy doing the workouts. Um, I wouldn't mind getting like personal records in different events, the 50 or the 100, but um, I think I just like having fun with the group, and racing would be and beating him would be really fun.
That I would look forward to hearing that. And our first segment is the first splash, where you're describing about your early swimming memories. And now we're going to move on to the goggle grit moment, which talks about the toughest moment which you have overcome through your back injury and what that was journey was that for you. And in warming down or in closing question, my question is what keeps you coming back to the water? Darren, thank you so much for joining me in this podcast episode.
Thank you,
I'm so
Atal.
thrilled, and I will see you tomorrow at the pool.
Yes, I will see you tomorrow at the pool. Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank you
night.
so much. You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you for swimming along with us on this episode of Swim Stories Unplugged. Huge gratitude for Darren Klien for sharing his strokes, setbacks, and secret training joys. If his words inspired you to push through your own tough sets, or maybe just to schedule that leisurely lap session you've been putting off, we'd love to hear about it. Drop us a voice note or DM on Instagram at Swim Stories Unplugged. And don't forget to hit follow on your favorite podcast platform so you'll catch next week's conversation the moment it surfaces. Reviews and ratings help new listeners find the show, and they mean the world to us. Until then, keep the water between the lines, breathe deep, and remember every story, every swim tells a story, even yours. See you in the next lane.